Oh man, I think every stream seems to start off like this, where I get like a bunch of whites in a row here. Let's try c4. I get nervous if it's like 3 in a row. So, symmetrical English. So far, so symmetrical. And let's keep going here. And well, we're gonna end up with like a Tarrasch. There we go. A lot of tension here. A3, we're both being stubborn. Who did I play against? We had this variation. I think the last stream. Last stream I played somebody and we were in this exact situation. Okay, now I'm going to take, now that the bishop has moved, play here. I'm going to take here, or just develop my bishop right away. These are my two candidate moves, takes or here. If I push here, 3-2 majority, but then there's a 2-1 majority for black. I think I like... Well, no, I'm going to get my bishop here first. Hang on. Decision time. I might want to be assured of a particular pawn structure. That's why I'm taking pause to this position. If I do this, then there could be a capture. I don't know if I really want to allow that. Let me just run forward with it. I want to clarify the pawn structure. Now let's get on this diagonal. And I'm going to play here, anticipating an eventual pin. I want to be in a spot to just be breaking it. Castle or get a knight right here. I think I like doing this first. One reason for it is because black is maybe ready to play rook c8 and then conveniently meet a knight b5 move with tucking the bishop back to b8. So now that I'm here, I want to do this move also before castling because I think otherwise there might be an a5 move. And then the a file can open up. I don't know if I want to allow that. Okay, now I better castle. Rook c1 is purposeful. Let's get there. I have control over this square, which is good, I think. I could take this knight. I could play queen here. I think I like queen here best. Let's go with it. More pressure on the knight. And maybe there's ideas of taking the knight and then playing bishop here, which is maybe picking up a pawn. So that's what I could be threatening right now. Knight takes followed by bishop to d4. Other purposeful moves might include something like h3, just for what? Just for flight square purposes, being that there's still all major pieces on the board. What else do I have available here? Knight takes followed by bishop here just seems too good to not do. I'm gonna do it. Knight takes. If pawn takes, I still play here, and if pawn pushes, then I think eventually the dark square bishops come off the board, and then my knight jumps right into this d4 square. But before this, I might want to do this move. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to try and get squeeze a little bit more out of this position before I play to d4. And you know what, maybe even playing bishop here right away isn't even needed. The rook, I'm pretty sure, has to just go back. Whoa! Was this just missed? What was I missing here? My opponent's going for... Well, I don't know what they're going for. This can't be right, can it? I'm just taking the rook and I'm on the queen and then I'm on the pawn. It's very forcing. I take the rook, I'm on the queen. Queen takes pawn, I'm on the queen. Even though there's some tricks against this square, I'm on the queen. I don't see it. And there is no mate just yet. I'm going to take here first. It'd be different if there was like knight takes knight with check there. And now after queen here, I'm on the bishop and the queen. I have to be cautious of the removal of the defender. This guy is not reliable. So let's take the queen. So now I kick the knight away. It's a flight square. And looking to simplify. So I get my knight out. F3 and then king here. Or actually F3 and then pawn here first. Just so I don't have to worry about a knight H5 pivot and then getting to this dark square. So go with this first. King up to F2 if it's threatened with the rook. And there's not really a way to add another attacker to that. So I could do this. I'm on the pawn. There's another fork. Okay, king up. My knight is in a spot to watch over this pawn. And next up is going to be what? This structure right here. These two pawns. Well, really just this pawn alone. Or no, scratch that. F3 and G4 constrain the knight. Kick this knight away. And let's put more pressure on this. There's 3 pieces on this file, so there's got to be something happening. Okay. Get rid of the light square bishops. How about that? Let's go with this. I really want to get this pawn rolling. Have to be a bit cautious. Oh, okay, wait. What's the story here? Let me do this. Not sure why exactly, but minute 6 here. My knight's watching over the pawn. Rook A8 is met with Rook A1. There could be a knight here piling up on this, but no, I would just take it. Knight here, I just take the knight and then the bishop. Maybe my knight could do something else, but let's do this first. Rook takes rook. Well, I'm going to go with this. I'm dropping this pawn. Or am I? Now I do this, and then after bishop here, I play knight here. And if the knight moves, then I hit this knight. Is there something better? Hang on. I was just thinking throwing a check first. Do not do that. Don't do that one. Right here, rook here. Attacking the pieces that are defending. Okay. That knight is actually out of squares. It's definitely out of squares, that knight. Now what? Just watch out for stalemates. No stalemates. If I take that pawn, it would have been stalemate. Don't fall for stalemate. Okay, my opponent resigned there. Okay, good game. Let's hit that rewind button and flip. What's the deal here? What's the scoop? I think one thing, as a just getting really technical, because right here maybe black does best to still play in some sense the mimicking game, right? What do I mean by that? How about just a6? Both of us should try to be a bit more patient maybe with deploying our king bishop because of the tension going on between these pawns right here and not wanting to move that bishop twice to recapture on the c4 and c5 squares. So maybe a6 instead. I'm feeling pretty comfortable, to be honest, right now, because I don't know if this is... I'm seeing it more as a liability than an asset. there's a wonderful example game out there between well, it's a Rubinstein's Immortal, where Rubinstein plays as black and eventually acquires a position where it's identical, but black is all of a sudden just playing as if they had the white pieces, that they had an extra move. So, or in other words, white lost time in that game, and as a result allowed for black to crash through with a flurry of very aggressive moves, and white was sure enough resigning in that game. Okay, so anyhow, that might be one to even reference if you're looking to learn more. I'll try and reference. This isn't something I was always doing, but if there's certain games that I think might be of interest, like if you're wanting to learn more about it, if you look up Rubinstein's Immortal, I think there's a lot more to learn about the different ways to be gaining or losing tempo out of this particular position right here. Take a snapshot of it. King pawns both have moved a single square. Queen bishop pawn and queen pawn both having gone 2 squares, and the knights, all of them are developed classically. These are considered the classical squares for the knights. So Rubinstein's Immortal. Those are my earliest points, really, to go with a6 right there, instead of deploying the bishop right away. And maybe it's better for the bishop to play here, even though it's not an annoying pin. It is placing the bishop in a position where it could eventually trade itself off for my light square bishop, and then maybe as black you could be making use of the c4 square a bit more easily. I won't have this guy around to watch over c4. Might be one day a knight e5 to c4 type of thing. So maybe the bishop's placement is something else. I do maintain control over this isolated pawn, so, and I think it's kind of tough to come up with a constructive plan here as black. So rook back is probably best. I don't know. I'm just up the exchange from there, and it's technique time, trying to just convert the point. But anyhow, those are my quick points. Nothing elaborate. But okay.